Good morning. Welcome to Long Live Third Parties podcast. Free Press Media Press Inc., a third parties books publisher, sponsors this podcast. I'm Andrew Bouchard. Friends, I have a question for us to ponder today. When I was in college, already then, my love of third parties was blooming. I had a friend at the time who consequently was a staunch Democrat. So he scoffed at third parties. He thought I was ridiculous for supporting third parties. And he even tried to backpedal the fact that we were in or near Minnesota when Jesse Ventura won his election of the major office of governor. So yes, this happened. One thing he pointed out was the following, and let me know what you think about it. He said the difference between the two parties and third parties is third parties are ideological, whereas the two parties are pragmatic. He said the Reform Party, however, is an exception because as he described them, he said the Reform Party supports any type of ideology as long as you don't support the two parties. He argued that this made the third parties be in a bad position. So what do you think about that? Do you think third parties are ideological in nature? I do think he has a point that the Reform Party may be less ideological than other parties. Some people say ideological is bad, like he is saying. So do we want to consider ideologies to be bad? He also once noted about me personally that he said, your dogmatism is anti-dogmatism, in the sense that I have gone all over the place, especially as I support these third parties. Like I mentioned on a prior podcast, I have voted for the Socialist Workers' Party, the Green Party, and also the Libertarian Party. All those parties are very different. And in other ways, I've supported parties with different ideologies. So I have supported a broad range of ideologies, and it may seem like there's no ideology in common in what I support. So friends, let's consider this. Did my former friend, the staunch Democrat who opposed third parties, have a point that third parties are ideological in nature? And is that a bad thing? Let's consider that. Let's consider that, friends. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Of course, some would argue it could be a bad thing, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. If it's a bad thing, let's find a way to do the right thing. If it's a good thing, let's find a way to harness this for the best. Long live third parties. Goodbye.